Oh, fuck yeah. This is why you go to the movies. Gonna be a whole lot of curses in this to keep up with the tone that is Deadpool, the potty mouth, the whole fucking 9 yards here. We're gonna get into Deadpool Wolverine. This is just spoiler-free alert, spoiler-free review, quick take on what I just saw. Next on That Guy Talks Movies. Welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I'm That Guy Talking Movies. And before we continue with this really fucking raw review of Deadpool Wolverine, I'm going to ask that if you found this review and you're not a subscriber, you should go ahead and hit that little red button down there. The fucking red button that says subscribe. Hit that so you can stick with me and hear more of my take when it comes to movies and all sorts of stuff, entertainment and streaming stuff. To my subscribers who have fucking stuck with me and have been there and shown real support, not you fake motherfuckers, but the real friends and people who really put comments and stuff in there. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Let's get into Deadpool Wolverine. All right. So right off the bat, I'm going to say that this is a nerd's fucking fantasy. Comic book nerds, MCU nerds, superhero nerds. This is going to be right up your alley. The shit that's in this movie. I'm in the theater watching this. Let me even go just take the moment to say that this is definitely, I mean, it was one of the most anticipated movies, right? For a long time. Since the moment that the idea that this would happen, this was a very highly anticipated movie. And you have to see this in the theater. This is a film where you get that camaraderie. You get the energy of the people around you, the nerds. Even people like me. I'm not like a comic book, MCU nerd, superhero nerd, but I appreciate it when it's done well. And I got to sit surrounded by a bunch of people who were hooting and hollering at every fucking moment and couldn't wait to see things. And I'm not gonna, like I said, there's no spoilers in this, but the surprises in this movie, the cameos, the things that happen, the introduction of characters, the reintroduction of characters, the cameo, it is a fucking wet dream for the comic nerds. I will also say that this is the return of the MCU. If I had to make that, now again, I'm not the guy, I'm not the expert comic book guy, the nerd who knows every single episode of Loki and every single episode of the Witch, whatever, all these things. I don't pay attention to every little thing and all the details, and I don't make comparisons between the original comic books versus the films. I don't know all the nuance and all the details. I'm a casual viewer, but I will tell you, even I know that the MCU has sucked for quite some time now. And this is a return. Wolverine and Deadpool, partly because, well, I should say mainly Ryan Reynolds, the actor, and the character Deadpool. Hugh Jackman, the actor, and the character Wolverine. The chemistry for the four of them work. You see what I just did there? The four of them. The actors' chemistry and the characters' chemistry. The stories, you get a lot of depth here. You get backstory with Logan. You get backstory with with Deadpool, with Wade, and this whole melding of things together. There's a heart to this inside of all of the potty mouth humor. I was actually worried that the shtick that is basically Deadpool would get tired or get worn out. Or at some point, it's kind of like, all right, how many jokes is he going to make that are kind of funny, about his ass or this, whatever. When is it going to become like just too much? And I will say 100%, it doesn't wear out. 5 writers, hell of a job. Really good work here. This is why you go to the theater. The entertainment value of this as far as the fighting scenes, right? So Sean Levy directed this. The capturing of artful storytelling, splashy, comic-esque, comedic sort of violence. I have to say that because I'm talking to my wife about this and like whether my 11-year-old can watch this, right? And the violence that's there, yeah, there's violence, but it's not like they're going for the idea of let's show someone's, getting cut up and make it really realistic. It's kind of It's comic-y. It's a lot of blood, but it's almost humorous. I don't know if I'm saying that the right way, but I think you know what I'm saying. It's comic book-esque. It's violence, and I'm not trying to justify violence in movies. I'm not trying to suggest you take your children to this, but at the same point, I'm kind of like, I'm conflicted as to, now my 11-year-old did watch Deadpool 2. The only problem I had with Deadpool, the first Deadpool, was the sexual suggestion in certain things in the first one, like when he meets his wife, right? His girlfriend, fiance. And there were some sexual scenes in that when they go through the whole calendar year of holidays and they're doing some simulated sex scenes, right? That's the stuff that I really didn't want my 11-year-old to see. The violence, they're seeing this stuff on video games now, right? And like, you have to determine whether or not your kid can and can't see things and how they interpret things and how they actually react to things. The violence in these films, although it seems over the top, it's very shticky. It's very comic-y. It's blood. It is what it is. Anyway, it's done very well here. The amount of storytelling in terms of like what this film is about and the way it goes, you know, you're dealing with the Loki and the whole TVA time, what is it, time variance authority, whatever it is. And as far as that whole thing goes, I wasn't too happy with that storyline. I wasn't too happy with the character that was basically predominantly in you know, the head guy in the TVA, or the guy in this particular universe who is called the Paradox. The guy from Succession, I forget his name, but the actor's name, but I kind of didn't like that character. But overall, from a story perspective, from a plot perspective, it is what it is. It serves everything you want. You're going to sit in a theater with other people, especially other nerds, and you're going to cheer. The music choices and the way the whole thing works. I'm not giving anything away. The whole Madonna Like a Prayer was in the trailers. It works so fucking well. And I read up on some of the history of that with Ryan Reynolds really, like, you know, meeting Madonna and trying to sit down and get that song licensed for this particular scene. And thank God they did, because it really works well. You're going to have problems probably if you're like somebody who's really hell-bent on the characters and the structure of like where this villain comes from versus doesn't come from, whether or not they work in this universe. That's going to be on you. Me personally, as a layman watching this, the few characters that I didn't know or weren't 100% familiar with didn't bother me at all, because it all just works very well. For someone who is unaware of the time variance authority and the whole Loki thing and the different timelines and the universe stuff, if you're unaware of that stuff, you're still going to be able to watch this and enjoy it. If you are aware of it, it's obviously that much better. And the characters, like I said, the cameos here, the characters that come in, there's definitely going to be, you know, probably until Hugh Jackman's about 90, until Ryan Reynolds is about 90, there's going to be plenty more of these films to come. I would assume they left so much open. There's so many things that are happening here. There's so many open doors based on the cameos and based on the characters and things that show up in this film. They just literally signed all these different franchises taken off or being restored, I should say, over the next 10, 15, 20 years, it seems. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Deadpool, Wolverine, have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I thought it was thrilling entertainment and what a film should be. It's funny. It's funny. The chemistry works between the main characters. Anyone else's probably would fall flat. But again, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, the way they work together, the characters, the way they work together, the entire thing, I had little issue with. I freaking loved it. I'm probably going to go to the theater to see this again. That's the way I felt about it. So you let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, if you plan on seeing it, or when you do see it, come back. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Deadpool, Wolverine. And that's really it. Oh, and hit that like button on the way out. Hit the fucking like button on the fucking way out. Really appreciate that. I really appreciate y'all. I will see you on the next That Guy Talks Movies.